Queen's will. Harry, Anne, Edward, Kate. What Queen Elizabeth passed down to each royal family member. The royal family has always been shrouded in mystery and grandeur. Queen Elizabeth II left behind a legacy and personal gifts to her family. Each gift was chosen to reflect their relationships and roles. But what did the Queen pass down to Prince Harry, Princess Anne, Prince Edward, Kate Middleton, and the rest of the family? You're about to find out. And trust me, it's not all what you'd expect. In this article, we're going to reveal the surprising, touching, and sometimes humorous legacies Queen Elizabeth II left behind. So, grab your cup of tea and a comfy chair, because once you dive in, you won't want to miss what happens next. When we think of royal inheritances, we think of diamonds, tiaras, and maybe a castle. But Queen Elizabeth's will was about more than material wealth. She left her family something valuable, a piece of herself, her values, and her memories. Take Prince Harry, for example. The rift between Harry and the royal family has made headlines worldwide. Did the Queen's gift to him signal a mending of fences? Or was it a silent reminder of the tradition he's distanced himself from? You might be surprised by what she chose for him. And what about Princess Anne, often considered the hardest-working royal, yet the one who shuns the limelight? What did her mother see fit to pass down to her? Hint, it wasn't a crown. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Curious to know what treasures, and not-so-obvious heirlooms, were divvied up among the royals? Keep reading. The truth lies deeper than just crowns and jewels. Let's start with the one everyone's most curious about, Prince Harry. The world watched as Harry distanced himself from royal duties and forged a new life in California with Meghan Markle. But despite the physical and emotional distance, Queen Elizabeth's love for her grandson never wavered. So, what did she leave for him? In a twist that might surprise you, the Queen gifted Harry something deeply tied to royal tradition, something that echoed the very lineage he's been walking away from. Rumors suggest she left him an antique sword that once belonged to his great-grandfather, King George VI. Yes, a sword. Not only is it a symbol of strength and protection, but it also seems like a subtle reminder of his royal warrior heritage. Could this be the Queen's way of saying, you can leave the palace, but the monarchy will always be part of you? And while a sword may seem unusual, think about it. Harry has always been the one to challenge norms, even serving in the military on the front lines. In some ways, this gift feels oddly fitting. It's a token of his royal roots, but also a nod to his fierce independence. But what about Meghan? Did Queen Elizabeth leave anything for her? The answer is surprisingly heartwarming, and yes, it involves some serious sparkle. If you thought Queen Elizabeth only left the jewels and tiaras to her children and grandchildren, think again. One of the most meaningful gifts went to Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, and the future Queen consort. From the moment Kate stepped into the royal spotlight, she became a beloved figure not only in the UK but around the world. Poised, elegant, and relatable, Kate embodied the qualities that the Queen admired. So it's no surprise that Elizabeth left her one of the most iconic pieces of the royal collection, the Cartier Halo tiara, the same tiara that Kate wore on her wedding day to Prince William. This gesture wasn't just about the jewels, though. By passing down the Cartier Halo tiara, the Queen was symbolically acknowledging Kate's place in the future of the monarchy. It's a clear sign that Elizabeth saw in her granddaughter-in-law the qualities of a queen-in-waiting. But here's the kicker. Along with the tiara, the Queen left Kate a personal note, handwritten, offering words of wisdom about balancing royal duties with motherhood. Can you imagine the treasures of advice from someone who spent 70 years on the throne? What could be more valuable than the insights of the longest-reigning monarch? But the Queen wasn't done yet. Princess Anne's gift was a testament to their unique mother-daughter bond. Ah, Princess Anne, the royal workhorse. For decades, she's been the one attending the most events, cutting ribbons, shaking hands, and staying out of the drama. So what did Queen Elizabeth leave her only daughter? It wasn't a glamorous tiara or a castle. Instead, the Queen left her something that perfectly encapsulates Anne's no-nonsense personality, her beloved collection of racehorses. You see, Queen Elizabeth was an avid equestrian, and it's no secret that she and Anne shared a deep passion for horses. In fact, Anne herself was an accomplished equestrian, even competing in the Olympics. For the Queen to pass on her prized horses to Anne wasn't just about maintaining a royal tradition, it was a reflection of their bond. It was about trust, understanding, and a shared love for a world away from the cameras. Imagine Anne, not in a gown but in riding boots, taking her mother's horses for a quiet ride across the countryside. It's a scene that feels so quintessentially Anne and so poignantly personal. But while Anne's gift may seem understated, it's packed with emotion. Want to know what Prince Edward, the Queen's youngest son, received? Brace yourself, it's more personal than you think. Often seen as the most private of the Queen's children, Prince Edward wasn't one for grabbing headlines. His relationship with his mother was always deeply affectionate, albeit understated. So what did Queen Elizabeth leave him? In a move that surprised royal watchers, it's rumored that Edward was gifted the Duke of Edinburgh title, a title that previously belonged to his father, Prince Philip. While the Queen could have passed this title on to any of her children, giving it to Edward speaks volumes about their connection. He's often been considered the son who stayed closest to the family's traditional values and expectations. And what could be a more fitting tribute than inheriting the title of his father, a man who was a rock to the Queen throughout her reign? But here's the twist. The title isn't the only thing Edward received. The Queen also left him her personal collection of handwritten letters between her and Prince Philip. A priceless treasure trove of memories that paint a picture of the life the public never saw. It's a gift that says, carry on the legacy, but also, remember the love. And as for the others in the royal circle, let's not forget the Queen's dearest confidant. While Harry, Kate, Anne, and Edward received significant pieces of the Queen's legacy, other members of the family weren't left out. For example, Camilla, the Queen consort, received a rather poignant gift, Queen Elizabeth's collection of royal brooches. Now, brooches may seem old-fashioned, but in royal circles, they are a symbol of presence and power. The Queen was often seen wearing them during key diplomatic events, and by passing them on to Camilla, she was saying, wear these proudly. Even Meghan Markle wasn't left out of the Queen's generosity. Rumors suggest she was gifted a pair of diamond earrings, a token of the Queen's welcoming spirit during her early days in the royal family. In the end, Queen Elizabeth II wasn't just a document outlining who gets what. It was a final love letter to her family. The items she passed down were not merely objects, they were symbols of her deep connections with each person. And that's the thing about legacy, it's not about the stuff. It's about the love, the memories, and the values we pass on. Whether it's an antique sword, a tiara, or a simple handwritten note, the Queen's gifts are a reminder that true wealth lies in the bonds we share. So, as we reflect on what Queen Elizabeth left behind, maybe we should ask ourselves, what kind of legacy will we leave? What memories, lessons, and treasures will we pass on to the ones we love? What do you think about Queen Elizabeth's personal bequests? Do they surprise you, or do they feel fitting? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this article, be sure to share it with others who love royal family insights as much as you do. Queen Elizabeth's will shows her thoughtful choices. Each gift, big or small, reflects the person's character and their bond with the Queen. This ensures their legacy lives on. For example, Harry's sword is more than a weapon. It symbolizes his strength and courage. The Queen saw these qualities in him, even as he chose to leave the royal life. Kate's tiara is not just beautiful. It represents her future role as Queen consort. The Queen saw Kate's grace and strength, passing on the responsibility through this iconic piece. Princess and got the Queen's racehorses. This shows their shared passion and Anne's dedication. The horses symbolize a deep bond between mother and daughter, beyond royal duties. Prince Edward received his father's title and personal letters. This is the most personal gift. It shows the Queen and Prince Philip's love story, a rare glimpse into their private world. Camilla and Meghan's gifts also show the Queen's respect for their roles. Camilla got brooches for her future in the monarchy. Meghan's earrings are a gesture of goodwill, despite media drama. These gifts have a bigger purpose. They ensure the Queen's values of duty, love, tradition, and resilience are passed on to the next generation. Isn't it fascinating how the Queen thought about the future even in her final moments? The Queen's bequests highlight a key theme, duty. Throughout her reign, she embodied service and dedication. By giving these gifts, she ensured her legacy of duty and tradition would continue, even with modern challenges. Prince Harry's sword is a reminder of his royal responsibilities, even if he doesn't live the royal life every day. It shows he is still part of the family and his heritage is important. Kate's tiara is more than a pretty accessory. It symbolizes the strength and grace she will need as Queen consort. The Queen trusted Kate to carry on the crown's legacy. Princess Anne's horses are a responsibility, not just a collection. They show the Queen's love for animals and her trust in and to care for them with dedication. Every gift and bequest carries a message about duty and tradition. These values were close to the Queen's heart throughout her life. But what does this mean for the monarchy's future? Could these gifts signal more than just passing on material items? As King Charles III leads the royal family into a new era, Queen Elizabeth's bequests are more significant than ever. They are not just family heirlooms but also roadmaps for the future. Each gift shows the role each family member is expected to play. For Harry, the sword might remind him of his royal roots, even if he's chosen a different path. He might find a way to reconcile his new life with his royal legacy. Kate's tiara signals her secure place in the monarchy. She will be the queen consort, and the queen's gift acknowledges her readiness for the role. The tiara will remind her and William of the queen's faith in her. Anne's horses are a sign of her continued role in the royal family. She will support her brother, the king, and keep the monarchy's quieter work going. Prince Edward inherits the Duke of Edinburgh title and his parents' letters. This suggests he will play a bigger role in upholding the family's values. The letters will likely inspire and guide him as he steps into a more visible role. But what about the monarchy's future? Could these bequests show how the Queen wanted it to evolve? Queen Elizabeth II was more than a figurehead. She was the heart and soul of the monarchy for over 70 years. She guided the royal family through many challenges, and her influence continues even in death. Her bequests are more than gifts, they are a blueprint for the monarchy's future. By choosing specific items for each family member, the Queen ensured her values and love would shape the royal family. For the royal family, these gifts remind them of their responsibilities. They are not just reminders of their personal relationships with the Queen. They guide the family as they face new challenges in an ever-changing world. And for us, the public, these gifts give us a glimpse into the Queen's personal side. They show she was a caring mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother who loved her family and the monarchy. Reflecting on Queen Elizabeth's final gifts, we should think about our own legacies. We all have something valuable to pass on, our values, memories, and love. So, what will you leave behind? What treasures will your loved ones carry with them? Will you pass on wisdom, kindness, or courage? Will your legacy be one of love and strength, like Queen Elizabeth's? In the end, the most important thing we leave behind is the impact we have on those we care about. So, think about what truly matters to you and how you want to be remembered. Now that you've explored Queen Elizabeth's final bequests, what do you think? Do you agree with her choices, or were some surprising? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this article insightful, don't forget to share it with others who are fascinated by the royal family's legacy.